We are live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Blake Ruffino. This is Are You Serious Sports. We hope that you guys are making it a good one. We know that we are as well. Huge show in store for you tonight as we will be doing a live reaction to the LSU women's basketball game until maybe 7:45, 7:50. We did go live a little bit earlier tonight. I am on daddy duty as we had an emergency here in the Ruffino household. And here is my loving co-host. Say hey, Ben. Ben Ruffino will be helping me co-host tonight. What do you think about Ken Mulkey and the LSU Lady Tigers? What do you think? If you're going to do this for a living, young man, you got to speak. What do you think? That's what you think? Hey, what is this? Hey, what is this? What? What? Now you're just being silly. All right, go find your mama before she goes. Love you. So we do have a little co-host for tonight. So yeah. Skipper Tally says, Blake, it's y'all, not you guys. Yeah, true. But big show in store for you. Nevertheless, we're going to be breaking down the relative, I've been doing a lot of thinking about what Brian Kelly should look like and record should be in year one, regardless of what the roster looks like right now. Even with some key pieces coming back, are putting or adding or coming back. We'll add on to that. Their LSU and Brian Kelly's offensive philosophy, we will touch on that. Ruffino's rants. NIL was not intended for what it's being used for in some capacities, and why NIL is not the problem to everything going on. It is the transfer portal and what they're allowing it to do in the mixture of both of them. As we do every Tuesday and Thursday, hashtag Ask Blake. You got a question, fire it inside the Rudy Crew chat, and we will get to it. Opt-outs, a lot of people are talking about opting out and kids opting out, devaluing bowl games. That has absolutely nothing to do with it. We'll tell you why here tonight, and like I mentioned, we will do the live women's basketball reaction as they'll be tipping off, or they are tipping off now. So we will be monitoring that as the show goes on. So let's get a couple comments, and then we'll get started. Dwayne Official on YouTube says, Blake, a baby girl would soften you up. Tell me about it. Dwayne, tell me about it. I tell my wife all the time that I want a little girl, and we'll see. Jack Davis says, solid staff year one. I'll be happy with 7 or 5 or better. I agree with that to some capacities. And Blaine Smith says, boot up Lady Tigers. So tip off right underway in just a minute. You can watch it on SC Plus, or you can stream both of us at the same time. That'd probably be the best bet, as we're going to be watching it together with you. All right, let's do this. Let's get Megan, it's not 7:30. Okay. So let's do this. This is going to be a very interesting show, isn't it, Ben? What are you eating? Best guy. All right, we just have like 400 or 500 people in here, and you're eating a best guy. Okay, we'll stay here. All right, let's do this. Let's get started on this thing. Let's pay some bills, and then we'll do that. None better than our good friends. Shh. Well, we should say this too. You got me distracted. Before we do that, everybody do us a favor by hitting the like and share. Share to your Facebook groups. Share to your own social media all your social media platforms, your Facebook page, Twitter, etc., Instagram. We greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to follow us here on Facebook. And we're going to be still doing the YouTube giveaway, the gift card giveaway on YouTube. We're going to change those rules just a little bit. We're going to try to get to a higher number and give you more money to do that. But if you're listening to us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Come here, Ben. We would greatly appreciate that. If you're listening to us on the audio podcast, don't forget to subscribe there. So everybody, subscribe to our channel on YouTube, as we do have tip-off, and South Carolina has the ball. This is probably the biggest game for the lady basketball Tigers. Maybe Simone Augustus is being recognized tonight, maybe since the times that she was here. This has a very big atmosphere. That's going to be a miss. Lady Tigers are going to get it. All right. We do need to pay some bills around this thing. We'll get to some football. We'll continue to watch the Lady Tigers. None better than our good friends over at GM Varno & Sons and betonline.ag. Guys, with 64 years of experience, nobody's better equipped to servicing your vehicle than GM Varno & Sons. RV repair, big rig overhauls, motorhome chassis, routine maintenance, tire rotations, tire sales. No job is too big or too small over at GM. Give them a call today at 225-664-9992. That's 225-664-9992. Or go see them over at 2500 Fuller Boulevard in Denham Springs, Louisiana. And our good friends over at betonline.ag. Guys, we've been telling you about BetOnline for such a long time now. To get guys, the 50% welcome bonus is one of the best things that a betting company could do. The way that you do that is you go over and you click the Believe 50 AYS podcast tab. That way, if you deposit or in your first transaction $100, they're going to give you 50 right off the top. It's free money just for signing up. That's betonline.ag. Betonline.ag. All right, let's get this thing rolling, y'all. Yeah, we had a little bit of an emergency tonight, so I am on daddy duty. As the Lady Tigers go up 4-2. That's huge, man. This is going to be a fun game to watch. Let's get to a couple of these comments as well. Roderick Dugas says, Ben the Sauce Rafino. Are you the sauce? You almost shared Daddy's breaking story a couple weeks ago, didn't you? By hitting enter. Roderick also says, Blake, I think we're 8-5 team next season. The floor, and that's the absolute floor. I agree with that. Yeah, I can agree with that. And you agree with that too, huh, Ben? So I agree with that. Look, this is going to be kind of maybe a little bit makeshift show just because we had some issues going on here. But look, even looking into Mike Denbrock's offense a little bit more as South Carolina goes up 5-4, that's going to be a strip ball. Looking a little bit more into Brian Kelly and Mike Denbrock's offense, guys, I think you're going to have to get ready for something that you haven't seen here in a really, really long time. I think that they're going to – I don't think – and doing the film study and the breakdown, LSU's going to be running the football a lot more effectively. They're going to go out of different formations. They're going to go out of the pistol. They're going to go out of the spread. They're going to go under center. Shh. And they're going to do a lot of different things. Hey, don't repeat, Daddy. Just sit here and eat your biscuit. I like the concepts that they're going to be doing on offense. It's going to be really explosive. Very, very, very explosive. Go get your iPad. Let Daddy put your biscuit here. Go get iPad. You don't want it? Okay. Yeah, this is going to be a very, very makeshift show. We might have to table some of this tonight, but it'll be okay. Oh, that's going to go in. Boom. Man, the whole time Kim Mulkey, boom, say it. Boom. 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 It's a big shot, Ben. But look, bottom line is this. I like the fact that this Mike Denbrock hire and the way that they're going to do things. You're not going to be able to – if you try to scheme for one specific thing or two specific things that this team's going to do, LSU's going to beat you. They're going to out-scheme you. And even though we saw Kansas State last night – go open the door for Fendi, baby. Go open the door for Fendi. Even though we saw a very depleted unit just a couple of nights ago, you saw a crap load of talent all across the field. What happens when they start replenishing this roster? What happens if they have a quarterback that actually, and I don't mean this wrong to Drontre Kirkland, but relatively knows what he's doing? Will be huge. Will be very huge. Fire your questions inside the chat. It is a Thursday. It is a hashtag Ask Blake. Thank you, buddy. So fire in your questions, and we will answer them. Matt Morvant on Facebook says, fun fact, K-State and Virginia Tech are the only schools without a national title in any sport. Didn't know that. What national title did Ole Miss win, and what sport? Would love, just interested on what they won. Dylan Allen said their K-State, they have nothing better to do. No, they don't. Cam says, as the old ladies would say in the back of the church, take your time, Blake. It's true. When you got this little dude right here and you got so much things going through your mind and have a whole show planned for, and you got to still go because you're making mad stacks of fat cash. Just joking. It's a joke because we're not. But you still got to go. Look, this lady women's basketball game right now looks like a heavyweight fight. Back and forth they go. One team jabs, the other team counters. The other team throws a haymaker and lands. The other one throws a haymaker and lands. This game could easily come down to a good home field advantage. And look at the whiteout, man. It looks like it's packed in the PMAC. That's awesome. Phil Tittle says, hashtag Ask Blake, with NIL, can a team like LSU that is very down on players pay players or pay players over the 25+7 number to quote unquote walk on to the team? I don't think that they can. And I don't think that they will. And this was going to be a part of my debate tonight, and part of my Rufino's rants here is guys, NIL is not the issue. And let me tell you why NIL is not the issue. Players getting paid has been going on for a very long time. A very long time. A lot of money has been but been given to players all around the country in recruiting, transfer portal, before it went like this and everything. Nobody. But the transfer portal along with the NIL is going to have to get some regulations on it. I'm all for player empowerment. I'm all for players going to different places. But NIL, somebody making getting a sponsorship deal is not necessarily the issue. The issue is allowing kids to be able to play without any guardrails within the system that it already is, that you can pick up and transfer and go somewhere else. Charlie Batch telling Caleb Williams on Twitter that him and his company is going to pay him $1 million to go to Eastern Michigan is not what NIL is intended for. It's not what NIL is intended for. The reason that they're able to do that is because of the transfer portal. Being able to pick up and transfer and use their leverage to get money, which I'm just going to call a spade, you would do it too. If somebody said they were going to pay you $1 million right now to go into the transfer portal and transfer to your school, I'm sorry, but take your honor and respect and take that shit elsewhere, or stuff elsewhere. Take it elsewhere, guys. That's not true. That's just not true. Nobody. But no, I don't think they're going to pay kids to walk on. I could be wrong with that. Dwayne Official says LSU women's basketball team, same team, different coach, different results. Well, they did get some good transfers in here. And look, but Kim Mulkey's is just a dog, bro. Early timeout by the Tigers, and she's already getting into them. Guys, this wouldn't happen a year ago. And here's what the bigger difference is. And this isn't a shot at that's not a shot at Nikki Fargas. You're also watching this because it's Kim Mulkey. Let's call a spade a spade. She puts butts in seats. That's just a flat line, bottom line in all of this. Chris English says rules and regulations need to happen for NIL and transfer portal. I don't think that you can regulate the NIL because you can't regulate a sponsorship, but what you can regulate is the transfer portal. That's what they need to regulate. What? You're fine. Shush. Derek Carlin says, hashtag Ask Blake. So how do they fill out the full roster for next year? I don't understand the numbers and can't figure out how they get back to 85 or whatever by next year. They can't get to 85. There's people saying that they can get to 70. But guys, and I know that people are doing breakdowns on how they can get to that 70, 75 mark. Man, I just don't. Because here's the problem you're going to have. You're going to have guys that go in the portal. You're going to have other guys leave for the NFL draft. You're going to have guys do silly things, and you're going to have to replenish more numbers than you already have. As LSU takes the lead 10-9, and they look to continue to go up on that lead. But they can't get it's mathematically impossible for them to get to 85 next year. They would have to have 50 guys right now ready to go for them to get there, and I don't think that they'll do that. I don't think that they could do that. Bam. It's a good shot. Orlander Gene Perry on Facebook says, #ask Blake, how long be BK replenish his roster? I think it's going to take him 2 full years. And that's not a shot at him. I mean, that's okay. That's you. Hey, who is that?
Ben.
That is Ben. Who is this?
Nose.
That is a nose. But who am I?
Shirt.
No, yes, that is a shirt. But who am I?
Mine.
No. Who is this? Who is this? Daddy? Yeah, beard. What's this?
Nose.
Nose. What's this? Ears. What's this?
Mouth.
What's this?
Eyes.
Yes, indeed. DJ says, do we get any transfers from Notre Dame? Maybe one, but I don't think you're going to get a lot of them like people intended to be. PJ Clemens says, who hates Coach O more, you, Carter, or Moscona? Well, Moscona makes up lies, I think. Actually, we know, and it kind of got proven. Jason Morgan sends us $4.99 via Super Chat. What's up, Jason? He said Xavier Carter and Ojulari on the outside will be lethal. Carter showed flashes versus K-State. I agree with that, and yes, he did. He absolutely did. But you got to get more guys in the interior too. Shout out to Shout out to Quincy Wiggins. Quincy Wiggins got in an accident today and broke his wrist. Hold on, buddy. Broke his wrist, and are you going to rely on a true freshman, regardless of who it is, to stay on the inside and stay healthy all season? I think that's a very tough ask for anybody. But they're going to have to replenish in the inside. So if you need a breather, God forbid you have an injury, Jason, that doesn't bode well. Pooh Bear says, #ask Blake, do you think BK would lean more spread with more athletes that he's had on the field before? Absolutely. And here's the most naive. Hold on, buddy. Shh. You want to go get your iPad? Okay, go get your iPad. Come back in here with Daddy. Pooh Bear, here's the most naive thing that people believe. And I've tried to say this to people. Everybody do us a favor by hitting like and share, as that one's going to be missed at the free throw line by South Carolina. But everybody says that BK coaches the offense very conservatively. And then the first game that I watch of this year, like go back and rewatch, was Notre Dame versus Stanford. And Pooh Bear, Notre Dame threw the ball 25 times in the first half. 25 times in the first half. Guys, that's not conservative. I don't give a damn if you're throwing 8-yard, 10-yard routes, 5-yard routes every single time. When you're throwing the ball that much, you are not – yep, go get your pad, buddy. You are not conservative. So, but now that Ben's going to walk out for here in just a minute, and I got like 2 seconds, that's what you can expect. It's going to be more of a rendition of what you saw in 2019, and I say that, and I want to get away from 2019, but this is just for fans from the perspective of nobody, your iPad. Go get iPad. But you spreading the ball around the field and throwing it around. Going power I and going 3 centers, going 13, 23 personnel, or 22 personnel, they're not going to do that. You want to sit down and watch your pad? Sit down and watch pad. That'll give you juice. Oh, God. So yeah, let's turn it down so Daddy doesn't get a copyright infringement from somebody, okay? Okay. So look, that's what I think. Pooh Bear on that. Dylan Allen says, #Ask Blake. So what exactly happened with Wiggins today? I think it was last night, and he got a broken wrist. Was told it was like a hit and run type of situation, and some of the details are kind of unclear at the moment. I've been told from his camp when I went out and started asking that he's doing okay. He's doing good. Spirits are good, but that he's a little banged up. So won't be playing this weekend. What? Who is that? What's this on your shirt?
Sure.
Say duck. Duck. What's a duck say? Quack. Quack. Quack, quack. What's a bear say? What's a snake say? What's a gorilla say? What does a horse say? What's a cow say? Moo. What's a pig say? Oink, oink. All right. Good job, buddy. High five. Man, LSU's up by 5, man. They're looking good in the first half. Looking very, very good in the first half. Justin says, man, where do you think Citizen is leaning at this point? I don't know, man. And look, I think that Frank Wilson's going to have to do some work here, man. He's going to have to do some work here. You bring him in here to be the recruiting coordinator, associate head coach. You were literally in Lake Charles not even a month ago, or a little bit less than a month ago, or a little bit less than a month ago as the head coach of McNeese. You got ties in Lake Charles. You got to go get that kid. Shh, watch Pat. You got to go get that kid. No doubt about it. Jeremiah Phillips says, Mr. Potato. That's an inside joke. Chad Selfo says, yeah, if Carter puts on 15 to 20 pounds of muscle next year, he could be a great DN for LSU. Well, definitely, he's going to play that outside linebacker role, but yeah. Justin says, we just got to that one. Adam B asks, #Ask Blake, any word on Deion Smith staying? Buddy, don't do that. Don't do that. Some people say that he's kind of just had some things to do, but there are some people who think he comes back. So we'll greatly anticipate that. Leighton on YouTube says, is BK and Matt House going to bring back the 3-4 defense? Yes, they're going to bring back a multiple front defense. And you never run the 3-4. You never run a traditional 3-4, but you're going to have people at I-man fronts. You're going to have them stunning. Look, the Matt House scheme that I saw, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago, you're going to see him blitz a lot from the inside backer roll. You're going to get a lot more than you saw over the last 2 years. And with LSU's athletes, I think it's going to be more of a rendition of what you saw Durante Jones do to some extent after Alabama, or at Alabama and after that, than what you saw from Ed Orgeron and what he made coaches implement in all of 2020 and halfway through 2021. Funny enough, that killed Orgeron, going back to the Pete Carroll days of old. Like, how can you want to get so innovative offensively and get to the Joe Burrow stuff and do what they did offensively in 2019, only to go all the way back to 2005 and try to run that defense? Do you know how dumb that is? We always talked about Les not innovating and being innovative on the side of the ball that he coaches. We don't ever talk about that shit with Ed, though. Robbie Robeek says, anyone else believe Kim Mulkey when she said to be patient? LOL. She's already made women's basketball a powerhouse again. I didn't. I came on here on the show day one and said I don't believe her, and I still don't believe her. I mean, the guys are leading the number one team in the country right now. If I'm not mistaken, didn't South Carolina win the national title last year? I don't believe her. I don't believe her. I didn't believe her for a second. Richie Mercer says hashtag Ask Blake with attrition of the roster, and being behind the ball on NIL. Well, let me stop you right there. We're not behind the ball, guys. I am sorry to tell you this, and I know that you don't all believe me, but as people that are inside this chat last night, and what was discovered on Twitter Spaces from people that are in the know. That's why we do those Twitter Spaces, because we're allowed to have other people at times when they need to come on Twitter Spaces and tell you what they know. I'll bring that individual on the show next week. But let me say this. LSU is not behind an NIL. They're not. I don't give two Rudy Poos what any attorney says or what a radio host says when you have active recruits telling people that LSU and people around are boosters for LSU are putting up the same amount of money or offering the same amount of money that other schools are. I'm sorry, it's just not true. Kids wanting to go to Alabama because they're winning and about to win another national title, they use the excuse of NIL. Kids are going to use excuses for a whole bunch of time when they go to Alabama or where they go anywhere else. Excuses are like noses. Everybody's got one. Mose? It's not a mose. It's a nose. Can you say nose? 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 Ha ha ha. Cedric says what channel is the game on? It's on SEC Plus. You got to have ESPN Plus to get it. Pooh Bear says hashtag Ask Blake. What does the co-ed say? Interesting. Robbie Boudreaux sends us $4.99 via Super Chat. Thank you, Rob. Fire in your question if you have one, and we'll get right to it. And Jason Morgan says Devin Bush is a cornerback in the portal, and he's from Louisiana leaving Arkansas. What do you think? Do you think we go after him? I think you should. Yeah, I think that you should. Yeah, I think that you should. You need numbers there. I think you have 6 corners right now. J Miles says, J Miles 56 says, good save, Blake. Yeah, we're going to back off of doing that. Cursing when we don't need to. Jeremiah Phillips says, Hines going to the portal per source. Is that chasing Hines? Because when we reached out to his camp today, he said that he hadn't made a decision yet. Hold on one second, Jeremiah. I will. Yeah, so listen, and I'm just making sure that nothing happened on Twitter before I reported this. Look, there was a reason why I didn't retweet anybody or hold on, buddy. Why I didn't retweet anybody or say that Chasen Hines was going into the NFL draft because guys, everybody claims, and you can go check this. We did not report Chasen Hines going into the NFL. People believe that all that we do is take others' information and spread it out there. There was a rumor that Chasen and Hines had decided to go to some type of NFLPA Senior Bowl, that he's going to the NFL draft. He's leaving LSU. Come here, Ben. That's just not true. Are you in your room? You can go play in your room. That's just not true. There's a reason why we did not report Chasen Hines going to the NFL draft, because when we reached out to certain individuals, they told us it had not been confirmed yet, and Chasen Hines came out and said, Jeremiah, that he's not going. He hadn't made a decision yet. But man, look, the Lady Tigers are up 23-15. Gotta love it, brother. You gotta love it. Tari Bates with a good pass, good layup. It's looking good. Jason Morgan says Dre Butler from Auburn would add depth at D-line. Well, you got to go get him. Chris English says Jones tweeted that he didn't make it his decision. You mean Chasen Hines? Yeah, Chasen, and that was the reason why we didn't report it, because we don't just hopelessly run stuff out there. I know who they got it from. People ran it. Chasen Hines confirmed that it wasn't true. You got it. You got to be able to. They better not blame me for shit ever again. I'm sorry, but I'm going to stand my ground on this one. You better not blame me for anything ever again. Bo Juro says, hashtag ask Blake, why are there so many doom and gloomers in some parts of LSU media? It's like any team makes a move, coaches, recruits, transfers, they get mad because LSU didn't make those moves. They're making those moves. Whether you get them or not, I don't know. Whether you get them or not, I just don't know. Brian Russell said, wide receiver coach yet? Brian, I think you're going to want to watch the show Saturday morning. We're going to go back to doing the Saturday morning shows. Tune into the show Saturday morning and we'll discuss. There's some things I wanted to run out here tonight, but as you see, because my wife had to leave and we have a little bit of an emergency, still wanted to do the show, but let me get some things on that. But I think we're getting extremely close. Hey, buddy, just play in your room, okay? Leave the door open. You can go play in your room. No, don't close the door, Ben. Don't close the door. Go play in your room. It's okay. All right. Let's see here. Greg Delott says, hashtag ask Blake, how do you feel about the two DBs that are transferring from Arkansas? I'm okay with them. You got to go get depth. And if they can provide quality depth and quality time and give you that good quality time, hell yeah, you go get them. You go get them. Guys, here's another thing, and I'm probably going to clip this too and send this out tomorrow. And I don't mean this in a wrong way. I've mentioned this before, and I'll mention it again. I am very much for player empowerment. Very much for it. Things you got to regulate the portal. There are certain things you got to do, and I understand that. I'm not a buffoon. But let me say this to every college athlete that's out there right now. If I'm going to run out here, and which is my belief, and I'm going to stand by you 100% in your player empowerment, being able to transfer and do all those things. However, if you go into the transfer portal and a team doesn't pick you up, understand that you made that choice. Some of you believe that you're better than what you are, and teams will lie to you all the live long day. They will string you along and they will mold you along throughout the season that you're currently playing, saying you're the best thing since sliced cheese. And quite honestly, they will cut you dry in a heartbeat to go get a kid from high school. We continue to see it. The kid from high school is a new shiny object. And then if they miss and they need to fill their rosters, they'll come and get you. Do your homework before you go into the portal. Do it. But I'm not going to feel sympathy for you if we give you the power to do this, and then you do it, and then you don't have any options. I'm going to back you 1,000% to the day that I die. But at some point, we got to come to the realization, or you need to come to the realization, if you're going to make a move, you better live with that choice. Life is tough, and sometimes you need to protect kids that don't know what they're doing. Guys, LSU girls are just kicking some rear end right now. They're looking really impressive. But I'm going to back you, but we also need to be just realistic with some things. Eric Lane says, so Caleb Williams going to USC? I don't know that. And look, shame on Charlie Batch for what he did, but that's a part of the game. That's a part of the game that you're doing right now. Why isn't Ty Graves doing that? Hey, here's another thing. Ty Graves is a humongous LSU booster. He also gave Spencer Rattler of Oklahoma a pretty large NIL deal too. So here's another thing. You want to talk about LSU? If Ty Graves isn't doing things behind the scenes and he's doing things with guys from Oklahoma, what do you think's really going on at LSU? The official chicken of LSU. Come on, man. Yeah, Mama's not here. We're almost done, buddy. We're almost done. Let's get to a couple comments. Sorry that we have the little man. Actually, I'm not sorry. I'm never going to be sorry for having my son. But it's not a traditional show, and I hope that you love it. Shane says on Facebook, if I remember correctly, he was committed, and then we dropped his offer, and he was pissed about it. If you're talking about Kari Gee, then yeah. And that's the part that I'm talking about, guys. That's the part that I'm talking about when I say you talk about kids don't have any loyalty. Yeah, if you're going to do that, you got to get down, okay? Yep, go get down and do it. If you're going to get mad when a kid opts out and goes to the Senior Bowl or gets ready to go to the draft, but you're not mad when LSU processes a kid days before he's supposed to sign with your team and he's been committed to you for a week, I don't want to hear anything, because everybody that's mad at the portal right now, you're having to go out here and say, can we go get this recruit? Can we go get that recruit? Can we go get this recruit? Can we go get that recruit? You're mad at me. Had an older gentleman today get mad at me because I didn't report Zach Evans went to Ole Miss. I typed right back to him, sir, please check our Twitter. He hates the transfer portal but wants LSU to get Zach Evans. Make it make sense. Man, LSU's kicking some tail right now, bro. Pooh Bear says, Ben is awesome, Blake, not bothering us. Yeah, I know. Ben, come here. Okay. Come here. We got to show the fans something. Come on. What? Hey, LSU. 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 Hey, where are you going to school in 2037? Where are you going to 2037? Where are you going to be playing football at? LSU. 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 All right, good job, buddy. Love you. Wade McBride says, it's awesome, little man killing the guest spot. Yeah, he is. He is. Kevin Broussard says, how can A&M justly or maybe justify they spent so much money on this? LSU up by 9, but South Carolina's at the free throw line, so it's going to be 29-21. So I don't know. I really don't know. Aaron Davis says, actually, I'm enjoying this episode. Your son is cute, Blake. Thanks, man. Thanks, Aaron. He's a little handful, bro. Pooh Bear says, hashtag ask Blake. Can you do the rant and baby talk? Come here, man. God, bro. Dude. Ben, repeat after me. If you
shoot.
Dude, I didn't even tell him to do it. LSU. LSU. Eric Wright says the soft teeth gang are the worst on social media. Bro, and they are all, Eric, they are always in my DMs, bro. Always in my DMs. One guy literally wrote me, I swear to God, like I'm pretty sure I showed my wife. I copied and pasted it and put it in a Word. It was 7,000 words. He DM'd me. 7,000 words. I told my wife I'm not reading it. And then he copied and pasted it, and then he sent it back to me again. Like, bro. Chad Briscoe says Ben just took over as best guess ever. Absolutely. Dude, you best believe that I'm clipping that. Dominic Vaughn says dad life, my brother. Absolutely. LSU now up by 10. Man, if they can close this half out, up by 10. And look, I get that South Carolina's got a couple of girls out. I get that South Carolina's got, some COVID things going on. But if you beat the number one team in the country, that's the biggest win in women's basketball maybe in 10 years. Jason Morgan says, my son got pee off when at Kansas State hit the gritty. My son does it all over the house. Yeah. Rob Sent says, cut that clip right there, Blake. Ben to LSU in 2037. Buddy, don't knock down daddy's camera. Hey, you've been cute tonight, but don't hit that. Don't take daddy's camera down. See, he's cute until he starts getting rough. No. Thank you, buddy. Hey, thank you. Now he gave me the camera case. All right. Let's do this. We're about 45 minutes in. I hate that we've had some shorter episodes this week, but yeah, can't really help that. Zachary Burrows says some people have nothing else better to do than write 7,000 word rants, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I might say 7,000 words, but I sure as hell don't type them out. Dane Bergeron said, fantastic, Blake. Have him on more. We will. Jay Pro says, LSU. They can't see, but it's okay. Kenny says Saban's already planning to recruit Blake's son. Yeah, for LSU, we want an NIL deal for whatever the market's worth at that time. For Saban, you're going to have to spend 25,000 times much to get that little dude right there. Guys, he's not even 3. He's almost like, I don't know, 3 foot. Nurse Court says, hell, I had twin boys. It's a nonstop party at that age. Little Ben, future Tiger. Yeah, I bet. Look, we'll kind of start rounding it out here. But we will be back Saturday morning. We're going to announce how we're going to really do this YouTube giveaway. We're going to do a little bit changes. I'm going to give more money, but we're going to have to hit a bigger goal. And I think that it's worth it. So we'll do that. But we're going to be reenacting our Saturday morning shows again. Kenny says, well, the biggest win since beating Tennessee in 2008 if they hold on. So, yeah. Well, it's over 10 years. Chance Rogers says, hashtag ask Blake, think Justin Jefferson just caught another touchdown pass in quadruple coverage? I think he did. If you don't get the context of that, that's from the Twitter Spaces from last night. Bo Juro says, dude, I don't think Southeastern had me writing 7,000 words on anything when I was in school. No, I didn't write that many in that blue book. DJ says, is the 25 plus 7 a total of 32 players coming in or just a total of 25 still? No, it's a total of 32. Hey, don't do that. Don't all me. You can't marker the wall, buddy. Chris English says quadruple coverage. I turned that into a drinking game, bro. Quadruple coverage. Can we just take a time to acknowledge? So we were talking about Joe Burrow last night, and people say that he struggled in 2018 and things like that. And I just said this. Can we take the time to acknowledge that Ed Orgeron made Steve Ensminger rein in his offense and only allowed two-man routes and Justin Jefferson was caught a touchdown pass in quadruple coverage. Yeah, Joe Burrow was bad. All right, so we are at halftime, 34-28. LSU is leading. That's huge, man. Huge halftime lead. Massive. Good on the Lady Tigers. Fantastic. And you know what? We'll end our Thursday show there. We'll be back Saturday though. Come here. We'll be back Saturday though, and we'll have more of a traditional show. Saturday. Come here. We gotta tell everybody bye though. How you open this? Show Daddy how you open it. Whoa! Daddy didn't know how to do it. Open it again. Whoa! Show Daddy. Whoa! Do it again. How are you doing that? All right. But Ben, tell him bye-bye. Or we'll get to one more and then we'll get out of here. 499 super chat by Ryan. What's up, Ryan? He says, you better coach that boy up, Blake. You're going to need him in the trenches when the time comes. Oh, he going to get that training. He going to get that training. You best believe that. All right. One more time, and then we're going to tell him bye-bye. One. Count with Daddy. 1, 2, 3. Hey! Ready? Hold on. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hiya! Hiya! All right. Tell him bye-bye, buddy. Tell everybody bye-bye. Yep. We're going to see him tomorrow. Go Tigers. LSU. LSU. Oh, you want some juice now. All right, guys. We'll see y'all again Saturday morning. Y'all have a good one. Peace out, Girl Scouts.